Hello. So I'm part of, well, I would say victim, but I don't consider myself to be a victim. However, I have had multiple crimes against me, major corruption. I am one person who has stood up to this massive global organization, should we say, that implicates a specific organization, which I know that had they known the truth, they would not have allowed their resources to be used. But basically, I'm British, but before Brexit, I lived abroad since 1999, and I lived in Holland. Went to Amsterdam, thought, yep, this is my place. And I lived there for a number of years, about 20 years. I have two beautiful children. The guy I was with was not worthy of my amazing kids or myself, and it was a terrible relationship. And basically, we split up in 2019, and then I came to England, and Brexit happened. I had to get my passport renewed, and in that time, he moved house and he took the children with him, and he stole my identity, and basically, my mother betrayed me, and every single person that I knew had a hand in it. And they've basically been to court, and either a doppelganger has pretended to be me, or there's a signature of me being dead, because my mother admitted on a recording that she had signed something, and ever since that moment I have been absolutely unable to get any help in seeing my children who are in Holland. Now, parental alienation is a massive crime over there, so if I can't see my children, I mean, even if I was in prison, I'd get to see my children, even if it was for an hour a week, in some kind of room with loads of people there, but I'm not a prisoner. I don't have a criminal record. I don't have any issues except major PTSD from basically losing my children overnight because I ended a horrible relationship. And before I left, I made sure that, he signed something that, I would have the children, he could have the house. But for some reason, I was just invisible. So I thought, am I dead? Or what the hell's going on? So it turns out that he moved to a place which is highly illegal without telling me, because the children are in my custody because I'm the mother. But he moved somewhere else, and my mother was the one that enabled that by either signing some kind of letter saying I'm insane, or basically saying I'm dead, because he attends a church and they deal with the birth, deaths, and marriages. So I don't believe in coincidences, I believe in synchronicity. Basically, my ex, and I have proof of this on actual paper, has committed since 2019, where I've been living in the UK from December 2019 to date, which is now June 2024, I have evidence of tax fraud, tenancy fraud, immigration fraud. I had a permit and he gave it to his girlfriend. Who knows? I don't know. Married someone in my name, pretended to be him. I don't know, sold it. I don't know what he did with it, but I don't have it. So immigration fraud, tenancy fraud, tax fraud, benefit fraud. Oh my goodness. I mean, a parental alienation, abduction of my children, perjury, you name it. And he was using the resources based on a lie that his new wife, in inverted commas, because it's very, very possible that she's actually using my identity, because according to the council, all the paperwork was in order, because he had full custody of my oldest son, who is not his biological child, and the mother was with the younger child in Harlem. Well, I've never even been to Harlem, and I was in England at the time because we were on lockdown and he wouldn't give me my permit. So I have had my phone and laptop wiped. However, luckily, I put it all on a USB stick, so no biggie. I've had major judicial corruption in the form of illegal court papers sent to me, which even said in the court papers this can't be used in court. And then I have this lawyer that's harassing me over something that wasn't even real. I believe it was some kind of entrapment. But I didn't fall for their bullshit, and I'm not going to. And I want my children back. And, I always said to my ex, I don't want this to be a war. You don't want the children. You're doing this out of spite, blah, 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 blah. And yet he continues to do this. And, he will pay the price in terms of karma because, you live by universal law or you live by the sword and you die by the sword. And I live by universal law, love and light. And, I'm coming from a place of unconditional love, and him and his voodoo, I believe she's into, wife, are coming from a place of hatred and greed, because I believe they seem to think that they're going to get some kind of inheritance. It's actually a spiritual inheritance, but my mother, being the idiotic being that she is, who's on her sixth husband, has nothing. But apparently I'm going to get her mother's fortune. It's all ridiculous. And as for this new Prime Minister, who apparently looks after his people, he's going to have a lot to answer for when I show him my evidence against the social worker who was investigating cruelty to my children and neglect, and she deleted the evidence, and I have it because I put it on a USB stick before she deleted it. I have evidence about that, and against Safe House, and against lawyers that were corrupt, and police that were corrupt, and investigations that were corrupt, and I have all of the evidence. So either I get my children back, or it's going to be really, really big news. And that's what I do. I do marketing. I'm a spin doctor and that kind of thing. I'm not dead. I'm not going anywhere. I've already told them, and when they try to bribe me, you can't buy me, not for $1 billion. I want my children. And that's it. Love and light.